On this episode of GWeek, we check out the newest buildings on campus, put our dancing shoes on for cancer, and talk to Captain Cookie himself in our exclusive interview. All this and more on GWeek. Welcome to the first episode of 2015. I'm your host, Mariana Sotomayor. If you've noticed a sweet, fresh scent of chocolate chip cookies near 2000 Pennsylvania Avenue, your nose isn't fooling you. The popular food truck, Captain Cookie and the Milkman, has officially set up shop on campus with its first store, which now takes GWorld. Reporter Ilana Krenin was there for the grand opening.
What do you get when you mix cookie dough, Cookie Monster, and GW students with a hungry appetite? You get Captain Cookie. The popular food truck opened its doors earlier this month to a line of eager students waiting to devour their cookies.
I got all of the kinds. So what is just about? I live in Rwanda, so I don't get Captain Cookies very often anymore. But anytime I come back to the States, I dream about them when I'm away, and then when I come back, I eat all of the cookies.
The captain behind all of these cookies is Kirk Francis, the owner of the franchise. Opening a store has been a dream come true for his inner child.
I have loved making cookies since I was 4 years old, and have continued that through the last couple decades now of making cookies, experimenting with recipes, obsessing over how to craft the perfect chocolate chip cookie.
And GW students definitely appreciate his dedication. Even freshmen who have only been on campus for 5 months have become regular customers.
Yeah, basically since I got here, it was the first food truck I went to, believe it or not, so keeping it up.
Customers keep coming back for popular menu items like milkshakes, ice cream cookie sandwiches, and obviously cookies.
Okay, chocolate chip. You can't go wrong with chocolate chip.
Well, the safest is both. So, here you go.
Yay!
But there are still more goodies to come. But the real reason Captain Cookie has become so popular is because of his team's apparent hard work.
That's the whole,
Kirk's cookies are really different than any other cookies, largely in their deliciousness. When he first started making cookies, he always said that he's spreading joy with cookies, and I think that that's actually really true. You won't meet many people like Kirk in your life.
He's basically Willy Wonka.
He is Captain Cookie, and the milkman after all. Reporting for GWeek, I'm Ilana Krenin.
I'm now joined by the Captain Cookie himself, owner Kirk Francis. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
I have to tell you, and I have to admit, I had my first Captain Cookie a couple weeks ago, and it was so good. I know, for the first time. And the exterior, super crunchy, interior was just so, I felt the chocolate chips melting in my mouth, and it was great. How does it feel to see, all these students, I guess, reacting in the same way, having all this excitement?
It's extraordinary. That's probably the main reason why I like making cookies, is because I like people. I like cookies, but I also like people, and I love to see people enjoying the cookies.
Right.
So it's really ecstatic to see everyone responding so positively and enjoying the cookies. Sometimes people will walk in and be like, oh my God, more cookies, and they just come out of the oven.
And did you expect that kind of reaction when you were first thinking about opening shop here on campus?
I hope so. It's a fairly large financial bet, so I was definitely hoping there would be some kind of warm reception, at least like steady business going on at the store.
Right.
Because unlike the trucks, if the store doesn't do so well, I cannot just drive it to another location, H Street or wherever.
Yeah. And did you always envision yourself selling cookies? I'm sure that's not everyone's top dream, or you don't think about that all the time.
As far as a career, I didn't know. I've been making cookies since I was 4, and I've always enjoyed it. I made them probably regularly at least once a week since that age, and I've been tweaking the recipe since then. So it's been a pet obsession of mine for decades. And I worked at a bakery for a few years in college, but I hoped, I guess. So many people go in and out of business. I think over 50% of food businesses fail after their first year, and so I didn't have unrealistic expectations that oh yeah, I'll start a cookie business and it'll go great and I'll just be in cookies.
Right.
I might try to start a cookie business and fail, or I might never get enough money to start a cookie business.
Yeah, but it's turned into a success.
Yeah, so far so good.
And why did you decide to open your store, or Captain Cookie, with a food truck first?
Money.
Okay.
It takes a lot of money and a decent reputation to open a real estate brick and mortar. You have to, for a real estate, a brick and mortar store, you have to convince the landlord, you have to convince a bank maybe if you're going to get a loan. You may have to convince some investors that you are going to make it. So many, you're different from so many other little cookie businesses or so many other like people whose friends tell them, your cookies are great, you should sell them, blah, 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 blah. There's a low barrier to entry in the cookie market. And so naturally, beginning people without any history of selling cookies are viewed with some skepticism. And even after 3 years of pretty successful food trucking, the landlord here was very skeptical initially. I had to submit extraordinary financial documentation. I had to list the value of every single thing the business owned, the last 3 years of federal tax returns.
Oh, wow.
I had to project out 12 months of profit and loss statements for the store once we did open. Had to submit like whether I was going to put granite or marble on the countertop. Everything.
Every little
my menu,
detail.
Every little detail was scrutinized. So I started with a food truck because for 30 to 50 grand, you can try it. You can provide at least one full-time job to yourself.
Right.
So the only career you're risking is your own. And if it works, then you can work that truck like crazy, make some money there, maybe expand, maybe move into a brick and mortar. You can do all sorts of things with kind of the outsized attention that you get as a truck.
Right. When did you know that your truck was successful, that people were coming back? What was that feeling like?
I guess a couple months into it. You know, the first couple of weeks, just like the store right now, are sort of the honeymoon period. People are like, oh, hey, there's this hot new truck, you know, you want to try it out. And I think 3 or 4 weeks down the road, when people started coming back regularly, like I would see someone on Friday and be like, hey, saw you last Friday, how are the Nutella cookies? And they were like, they were great, I need a dozen for my friends. And you think, this might work. Like, people came back and they bought cookies, and then we started getting some catering orders, some wedding gigs.
Oh, wow, okay.
A couple shops wanted to carry cookies. All of those were encouraging signs that like this might work.
Right.
Also, I checked. I I don't have a very sophisticated banking system, but I looked in like the cardboard box where I was throwing the money afterward. And I was like, hey, there is money left over this week, and you know more money did this than did that. So you know, I'm not, my economics are fuzzy, but from a profit standpoint, I believe that's the goal.
Right. Exactly. Of course. And now you say you're in your honeymoon period here at GW. What's next? Are you experimenting with new things so that, you know, Captain Cookie can always stay the biggest thing?
The biggest thing.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if we're the biggest thing, but we are experimenting. We have homebrewed sodas that have yet to make their debut. We finally got our espresso machine parts in yesterday, so we can start doing lattes, cappuccino, espresso, affogatos, stuff like that.
Okay.
We're perfecting our milkshakes because, you know, a good milkshake takes a little bit of skill.
Yeah, it does.
And there's many people making milkshakes around, so we want to make sure that ours are the best. We know we're starting with the best ice cream and the best milk because it's local, it's incredible, it's all natural. But how much ice cream? How much milk? It's not an exact science, but like everyone has to get that feel for it. And the cookies just have to be consistent. Like with the store being open 12 or more hours a day, I cannot physically be there all the time, unfortunately.
Right.
So I just have to make sure that everyone is trained. Every single person working at Captain Cookie is a cookie baking ninja who can turn out like that. You said the crispy exterior, the chewy interior, maybe like a very soft center inch or so. So perfecting what we've got, tweaking the menu a little bit. We've been testing out different specials of ice cream, pistachio, coffee, cookies and cream, butter pecan, et cetera, to see what sells well and what people want, what pairs really well with our cookies. And then in about a week or two, I think we'll be set on our menu. Then we'll get nice,
That's exciting.
nice permanent ones printed and put up.
Oh, I'm excited to try all those new flavors. They all, so far, sound very good, so I'm sure they will be.
Thanks.
So one last question. If you could only sell one flavored cookie.
Chocolate chip.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Well,
I could tell you why. I already did.
For me, the chocolate chip cookie is where that is the recipe I've been experimenting with for 20 some odd years. I tweak it every 2 or 3 years, like the level of baking soda, the brand of salt, the type of flour, all that. I'm obsessed with like making it perfect. I personally love chocolate chip cookies. I've had 2 already this morning. I will have probably like 4 or 5 or 6 by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Chocolate chip is also the most popular, so from a financial standpoint, it makes sense to do that. And it's a fun cookie. Like, other cookies are consistent. Like a Snickerdoodle, every bite tastes like Snickerdoodle.
Right.
Peanut butter, every bite is peanut butter. But like a chocolate chip cookie, who knows? You know, you might be getting like a whole bunch of semi-sweet chocolate in one bite. You might be getting a lot of dough in the other bite. It's the contrast between the semi-sweet chocolate and the warm vanilla flavored dough that I think makes chocolate chip so popular.
Yeah. I think you've hit the spot for sure. Well, congratulations on your new store. I'm sure there will be a lot more continued success, and thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Stay tuned for the headlines that are making a buzz right here on campus next.
It's on us
to stand up to those who tell us it's not our business.
It's on us
to stop a sexual assault any way we can.
To step in if a friend is doing something that could lead to sexual assault. To create an environment where women feel and are safe.
It's on us not to give our friends a pass.
To change the way we talk about women.
To be more than a bystander.
It's on us to look out for someone who has had too much to drink.
To never blame the victim.
I'm a member of the GWeek community, and it's on us to end sexual violence.
So George's been doing a pretty good job since he started here, huh?
Yeah, but I don't think he understands Casual Friday yet.
Hey, George.
What's up, George?
Yeah, real presidential.
Academic institution with a fine athletic tradition. Patricio Garino throws it down with 2 hands. Wonderful city. It's a great place to go to school.
Keaton Sandwich open down the right side. Will go and Duncan with his right hand.
Not just a family, it's a whole community.
Armwood Duncan with 1.9 seconds left. Armwood, a thunder slam. 81-80 George Washington. A huge victory for the Colonials.
Welcome back. The first 6 floors of the Science and Engineering Hall opened to students and faculty last month, and its newest occupants are already taking in the state-of-the-art study space.
It's a good place to study, you know, it's a good place to chill, it's quiet, not too many people, I like it.
So I'm just going to use what the dean of the engineering department said. He used the word fabulous. I mean, I'd agree with him, it's breathtaking to be a little bit more romantic.
The building will host a grand opening on March 6th, inaugurating the full 8 floors dedicated to the departments of Engineering, Biological Science, Chemistry, and Physics. The Princeton Review has named GW the best university for internships in their 2015 edition of Colleges That Pay You Back list. In an interview with the Today Show, author Robert Franick said that GW has more interns in Washington than any other school in the nation. In fact, GW had to beat out 650 colleges and universities to land the #1 spot. GW students may have the Secret Service on campus, but that doesn't guarantee their safety. That's why the Office of Safety and Security hopes students turn to their app called GW Pal. When activated, the app acts like a silent mobile alarm that tells GW PD where the student is on campus. If you find yourself off campus, the app will suggest calling 911. It is now available for iOS or Android smartphones. Supreme Court Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Antonin Scalia will be speaking at Lisner Auditorium on Thursday, February 12th. The justices are expected to talk about their experiences on the highest court and discuss some memorable cases. Tickets are currently sold out, but a few lucky students will be able to get them closer to the event. Stick with us to see why students are dancing for 12 hours straight next.
The George Washington University, at the intersection of policy, practice, and research, connecting all that Washington has to offer with an intellectual environment that drives progress, transforming vision into action, offering learning experiences that are rigorous, real-time, and real-world. In a city shaping the future, George Washington is a place where faculty and students don't just study the world, they work to change it.
Records aren't broken on game days. They get broken at 6 a.m., late at night, while the rest of the world sleeps. Records are broken, one shot at a time.
Order your tickets today.
Welcome back. Many universities around the country have made it a yearly tradition to dance for as long as 40 hours to raise awareness against children's cancer. The dance marathon craze came to GW for the second year in a row, and students were more than happy to take 12 hours off of their day for the Children's Miracle Network. Sam Cherry has more.
On February 8th, 400 GW students gathered in the Lerner Health and Wellness Center for the second annual GW Dance Marathon. DM's fundraising proceeds go to the Children's Miracle Network hospitals all around the country. Here in DC, Dance Marathon funds are given to 250 children being treated at the Children's National Hospital. This year, the DM team was set to double their effort in what they're calling Dance Marathon 2.0. Ben Sagerman, sophomore e-board member, told us what is behind this year's 2.0 theme.
So this being our second year with Dance Marathon GW, we wanted to double everything. So last year we raised over $36,000, and we wanted to double that. We had 200-something participants, and we wanted to double that. We're doubling everything. We're going twice as hard. We're fundraising twice as hard. We're doing everything twice as hard. That's what the 2.0 is.
With such an amazing cause, standing for 12 hours has never felt so important. Every single participant is here for the kids. Sophomore and Director of Dancer Recruitment, Jency Boyce, jumped on board of DM for its first year and is now back for more.
Well, I've been a friend of Libby's, our executive director, for a while, and so I knew that she was doing this, and I actually got involved last year. And last year at the marathon, just coming, seeing the kids, seeing what a difference we can make in their lives, and just really hits home that no kid should have to spend their childhood in a hospital bed, and so I knew that I really wanted to continue with it this year.
With 400 registered dancers, individual fundraising played a huge role in Dance Marathon's success. Freshman and first-time dancer Rachel Gammons raised $1,000 all on her own. At her 10th hour of dancing, Rachel was still upbeat.
I'm exhausted, but it's so much fun. Music is great, everybody's out here for such a great cause that we don't even notice how exhausted we are.
Dance Marathon 2.0 really did live up to its goals, managing to raise $77,000 for the Children's Miracle Network. Next year's event is sure to be even bigger and better. I hope you're ready to get dancing, GW. This is Sam Cherry reporting for GWeek.
Thanks, Sam. I'm sure those blisters were worth it. Well, that's our show. Tune in next time to see what's new at GW. In the meantime, check us out on our website at www.gw-tv.com. Until next time, we'll be seeing you around GW.